Good afternoon, good morning, and or good night, depending on where you are. My name is Travis Stonefeld Barris, and today we are analyzing some more XLNC Mid-League League of Legends amateur esports. Last game, it was Darkside versus Exile. The sides were flipped, so Darkside was on blue, and their mid laner popped off, and Yasuo mid carried the game, hard carry, absolutely stomped. So let's see what Exile does here to come back. Their blue side, we're going to kind of analyze this from their perspective. You just got stomped. You need to draft. I think the first thing you do for mental is you ban the annoying champions that you just played in last game. So all three of these bans showed up. All three of these champions were in the last game. So I think that this is amazing. You're not going to see professional teams doing this because they practice and have such a strong mental that a lot of times they don't need to ban all three champions. Maybe they'll ban one that they weren't prepared for, but they're definitely not going to ban all three. In amateur League of Legends, I think that principle flips on its head. I think that if the enemy is picking something that you just don't have the mental for right now, or you don't know how to deal with, you just ban that shit, get it out of here. And I think that that's exactly what they did. Fantastic way to recognize that like this is what we need to do in order to come back in this series. I believe this is a best of 3. Let's analyze the draft really quickly. So they banned these champions, Pantheon and Olaf and Lulu. So these are the same bans from last game. If you didn't watch the video, it's up on my YouTube channel, making one for every game. And then the blue side picks Graves. I think Graves is bait, but we'll see if it pays off for them here. I don't think Graves is a great first pick. I would have rather seen Kai'Sa, but they got Kai'Sa anyway. Darkside is going to respond with Jhin Volibear. I actually think Volibear is pretty strong. I prefer Volibear top. It looks like they're going to put Volibear in the jungle since they have Warren. I prefer Volibear top. I think he's a very strong top laner. Jhin is also played fine last game, so we'll see what happens here. Blue side responds with their bot lane and says we're going to pick Kai'Sa Leona if you're going to play Jhin, and then Darkside says, well, we'll play Morgana then into your Leona. Into the Leona. I think there are a lot of nuances to playing Leona that get her around counters, which is why she's so popular in the meta right now. I was doing a video yesterday analyzing the pick and ban rate of champions in professional play, and Leona has one of the highest for supports across the world in professional play. Two things are important to note with this champion. Two counters are popular to Leona. You pick Thresh, the idea being that when Leona Zenith blades into you, she uses her E, she's coming at you. Thresh can flay her away so she doesn't get the stun off. And the other one is Morgana for the Black Shield. So you can harass with pool and things like this early. Auto attacked because you're ranged, and then whenever the Morgana or whenever the Leona tries to use any of her abilities, because Leona does like to combo those abilities very quickly. E, Q, R, lockdown. You just get to Black Shield whomever she's going after. However, Leona has very nuanced ways to get around these counter picks that make them not necessarily hard counters. So in the Thresh lane, you just wait for Thresh to use his abilities first. That's it. You just stand there and go, okay, I can't kill your ADC, but you can't kill mine. So what are you gonna do about it? And then eventually when you bring your jungler in, the Leona is a bit more useful with a lockdown. And also, people are forgetting that Hex Flash is a thing, and so Leona can flash aggressively more often, which you can't flay a flash as easily as you can her Zenith Blade. The same thing applies for the Morgana lane. The idea with Morgana is you're using the Black Shield to stop Leona from getting a stun off, but what I see good players do is they'll Zenith Blade onto a character, wait for the Black Shield to go up, and then you flash to the other character. So in this case, the Leona would go probably for the Morgana. Morgana would Black Shield herself, and then you just flash at the Jhin and hit Q and then stun the Jhin. And now Morgana is sort of there with no useful abilities. She can auto attack you, she can pull you, but you're so tanky it doesn't matter, and you're just in Jin's face, and your ADC gets to kill him for free. Second round of bans, we have Yone basically saying that, you know, you picked Yasuo last game, we're not going to let you just pick Yasuo 2.0. Aatrox is a good top laner. I think it's a fine ban. So there's banning top lane champions at this point. Aatrox and Shen, and then they ban Lilia, not realizing that it's Volibear jungle. We have Ornn, Malphite, Orianna, and Corki. Corki is an interesting pick that I think can pop off as a late game carry, which is fine into Orianna because Orianna wants to scale as well. So I think it's okay here. Overall, after the draft, let's see, who do I think I actually favor? It's a difficult decision. I do like blue side here. I think they got a good draft off. I think that the Graves is going to be able to outpace the Volibear, even though I do think Graves is bait in the jungle at the moment. I think this is a very even draft. I think that blue side just is a little bit easier to play. They have a bit more agency with their champions. Orianna is a bit safer than Corki, and Leona is a bit easier to play and just a better support right now than Morgana. So let's jump into the early game and see what happens. Here we are jumping into the early game. Unlike last game, it seems like there's just both teams are going to fan. They're not going to go for any level 1 shenanigans. If I can predict what they're going to do in the early game. Looks like they're going to start on the same side of them. Junglers are going to start on the same side of the map yet again. As Zongi lumbers his giant ass into the jungle here. So here we go. Blue side will know as soon as bot lane shows. Blue side will know that Volibear started top. I mean, great job, I guess. Good job. If I were Leona there, I may have just like tried to punish them for that a bit harder. I don't know which ability Leona started, but that was sort of a cheeky, you can't stand in that bush unless you're going to kill. But red side doesn't know where Graves started. So let's see how that piece of information actually impacts this early game. We know that Graves is going to clear a little bit faster, and I'm wondering if he's going to be able to find Volibear at the Scuttle Crab after doing his camps. Something to note for you support players out there, the Morgana correctly starting with the Relic Shield or whatever this item is called, the one that gives you stacks to kill minions. It helps you push faster. In the bottom lane right now, and for the past year at least, the most important thing is being able to control the wave and shove faster than your opponent so that you can get level 2, get experience, get priority so that you can take Drakes. And having those stacks helps you do that, which means that, yep, just like we think the Morgana Jhin out pushes. So here we go. Graves is doing the Scuttle Crab while Volibear is taking his second buff, and that's exactly what I was talking about when I said Graves. It's going to clear faster than Volibear. I'd like to see what's going on down there. Looks like there's maybe a fight for the Scuttle Crab. Camera, please. Cool. So Volibear actually comes away. It looks probably like Smite fighting the Scuttle Crab and just taking it away. But Graves, again, because he has so much momentum, he's going to be able to go top and get this crab. So it's already like one negative on the Graves pick because the entire idea is to clear faster so that you can get more scuttles or just have better tempo. And right now, Graves has yet to base, and Volibear based and bought boots, I hope. Yep, bought boots. And a pink ward that just has better tempo. Graves is going to go do the Golem Camp, the Krugs, whatever you want to call it. And Volibear is going to go gank mid. They see Graves up there, so Volibear should very easily just be able to go in and steal away some camps here. Probably should have taken the chickens. Get your chicken nuggets on. Bears love chicken nuggets. And they know Volibear is in there. I don't know what Volibear is doing right now. He needs to be on a camp. He's losing too much tempo for this. Looks like they're going to start the Drake up, though. I guess the Drake is a camp, so he's listening to me. Good communication. And again, part of the reason that they're able to complete this is because Morgana didn't have push because Morgana brought the Relic Shield. I don't think that's actually what it's called. I think that's what it used to be called. I don't know, something to do with shoulders at this point. But she brought the correct support item so that they could keep that push going. A little scuffle in the mid lane. Something that I think in this meta that's very important is that your champion needs to be able to be useful in fights at all stages in the game, and I think that's one of those situations right there where if you didn't have a champion that was useful, like if Red Side had Karthus jungle, for instance, he's just not useful in that tussle, and I bet they die. For once in one of my analyses, we haven't talked a lot about the top lane, so let's look at it here. I favor Ornn in this matchup pretty heavily. The advantage, it may not look like he has an advantage right now, but the advantage he has is actually in his potions. He's also got a ton more CS. So he gets to take trades like this for free because he still has one corrupting potion stack. Poor amateur top laner is not getting any support. Doesn't matter. Ornn's smacking him around. The timing was missed there by the Malphite, so it's a noble attempt. What he's trying to do there is interrupt the Ornn's second charge of his ultimate so that he doesn't actually get the knockup, but it didn't really matter. I think that the Ornn, the brittle proc is still on you from the first tick anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The return gank to the mid lane. Flash for flash. And here you see why Orianna is so heavily prioritized in the meta. She just gets out of everything. It doesn't matter. She's so hard to kill. She's so hard to gank. Really safe. Gets the scale for free. Something I think Riot might need to address. I really don't like the handshake that people are taking in professional play Orianna for Syndra. But let's look at Watch Crits, who popped off last game as Yasuo. Let's see if he has a build that intrigues me with the Corki, because I do think Corki is another one of those champions that maybe kind of like Orianna gets. Maybe you just get to scale for free. At this point in the top lane, Malphite's just getting smacked around a little bit. I think Ornn is very good in the Malphite. Bonk. That trade pattern just favors Ornn every time. So we're 8 minutes into the game, and the Orianna is warding the Rift Herald. again, I think that the priority of the Rift Herald is something that amateur teams need to get to think about. As it looks like Jhin is going to get caught out here in the bottom lane. Morgana is not there to give you the black shield. You are stunned up, my friend, and that is goodbye. So just a bit of a misstep, not tracking where the enemy could be, you know, trying to take... we can back up a little and see maybe what Jhin... We'll look at the minimap and see if we can figure out what Jhin was thinking. So there's Jhin, they're clearing a wave. The bottom lane just backed off. So you can assume they're resetting at this point. Right, bottom laners know this, like, okay, it's time for you to reset. You probably have enough gold for Noon Quiver or whatever. Also, Jin's getting out CS pretty heavily down here. Maybe not heavily. I should take that back. He's got a wave in front of him. He goes, they just backed, so let me go clear out this ward. And just not realizing that the amount of time it took you to push that wave, the bottom lane can be back and the jungler can be down here. So you just need to not do that effectively, right? You need to... I think there's a problem in every single lane where you've pushed in your wave, the enemy has based, and you don't really know what to do. You know, Jhin probably didn't want to back there, right? He had like 600 gold, it looks like, because he just bought the crit cloak. He didn't really want to back there, so it's like, I'll just go like try and clear out wards or something. And you really need to think as you're pushing the wave. Amateur players need to do a better job at going, okay, I'm going to do this. And I think that the other thing that they can get better at doing is, as we have a fight, I'm going to back up so I can make this point. The other thing that you get better at doing is just taking that free base and buying the crit cloak. Honestly, I just think it's fine in amateur play to do that if you don't really have a plan. We'll watch this fight, though. So Volibear knows that they're there because of that ward. This is a situation where Volibear goes, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. Teleport comes in from the Ornn. Really good lockup. Onto the Graves. And here you go. One of the situations why maybe Graves is a little bit of a bait is the jungle items. Like, if you look at the inventory of the junglers right now, you would just rather have Volibear's stats. Good play by Ornn to get down there and help out with that. Good play by Volibear to get out. Really awesome. Just like popping into that. Again, I think that the blue side was like, oh, look, a free Volibear. But he knew fully well what he was doing. I think that's a really smart way to set something up. Make it look like you're making a mistake, but really you're not. Here we go again, where let's just watch, see if Volibear is more useful here. Unfortunately, was he more useful? Maybe. But red side, I guess, just didn't communicate or didn't think about, because the next thing I was literally about to say is like, okay, well, you know, blue side has a teleport advantage. Let's see if they can use it. And so I've been in these situations and your teleports, like where I've been the Ornn and I TP bottom and we get a couple of kills and I make a good play and then I go top and I communicate to my team like, hey, Malphite has TP advantage. And they immediately go, let's go to the Drake. And I'm like, no, team, Malphite has TP advantage. Like, it's a 5v4. I can't be there. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go get the Drake. And they go to set it up and immediately get punished. So I've been there. Using teleports is a really nuanced, you know, situation strategy in League of Legends. And it really comes down to being a team game. They should have taken their kills there. Probably just gone, again, go get the Rift Herald. Like, You use your TP bottom, go get the Rift Herald, drop it top, or something like this. So I think that's just a mistake in their decision making. Fight has ultimate and flash here, so he may be able to get out of this. Yeah, well, he's just out with ultimate. Well played. Now the teams are grouping for the Rift Herald. 12 minutes into the game, so realistically, you probably don't have a ton of time to get plates. But I'd like to make the point that professional teams value this so much more. It looks like Red Side's bottom lane is actually on the way. But they have these timers where they can get to this objective with all 5 people and take it kind of for free. And I think this might be one of them. Let's see what they're doing. Now they go back bottom. Are they even going to get Rift Herald? They're just going to take the Scuttler. They grouped around it like they were going to take it, but they don't even take it. That hurts. Just take the objective. Like, that timer was so good for Red Side, and they just did nothing with it. So the other really, like, nuanced strategy that I'm learning about right now, that I think other teams, amateur teams need to as well, is this idea of tempo. Right there, you had such good tempo for the Rift Herald, but didn't take it. Finally, they're taking it, but and this is why tempo is so important. At this point in the game, the Rift Herald is actually less valuable to you than like a minute earlier, because in 20 seconds, in 10 seconds, plates are falling. Where you could have gotten these 2 plates in the top lane with Ornn, gotten a bunch more gold for your team. Now, 3, 2, 1, boom, plates have fallen, and you just took the Rift Herald. So yeah, you can go up here and drop it and take the turret, but you wasted gold by just not doing it earlier. All right, we see a TP coming in from Corki. Let's see if Corki can tussle. Let's see if he can clean this up. I think he does. Nice. Blue side maybe looks for Corki trying to get back to lane. Be really annoying. All right. I'm questioning the use of this Rift Herald as well. Looks like maybe teams are just going to posture and play for the next Drake. So maybe this is one of those timers where you're going to use the Rift Herald mid or bottom or something like this to build a little bit of pressure. Corki's backing very, very late for this Drake. So I don't know about that. Did he have package? Is that what the idea? Maybe he just wanted to go pick up package. Yeah, maybe he just wanted to go get package. Ornn is also basing pretty late, but he has TP. So I think Ornn should probably just TP right now. Perfect. We like to see it. Now everybody's here. Blue side is split though, so if red side just picks a side of this fight, which is what they're doing, they can win it. Blue is sort of resetting, but yep, they got picked already. It was a little too late. So they were split there, and red side, a great example of how you should, when the enemy team is split, you just all go one direction, right? Be like the boy band. That's the rule. And blue sort of has no business being here at this point. Let's see if they can make something happen. Jin triple kill. So I think another thing that's going to be a common theme as I'm analyzing Amateur League of Legends is know when to give up your objective or know when to give up your play. And the moment somebody gets picked off on your team, I think it was Malphite in that go around, like the Malphite was just dead. You really have no engage. You have Leona, but I guess they're like, are you hoping that Leona hits a 5% ultimate? Like, what are you really playing for in that scenario? Because you just got wiped and Jin got triple kill, and now he's 6'2", and he's going to base and buy a lot of items. It's not going to be pretty for you. Fast forwarding again, we have a pretty big lead here. Let's see if the red side can keep it this time. It's not as insurmountable as the last game. A 6-2 Jin is much easier to deal with than an 11-5 or 11-0 Yasuo. And you have some tools to deal with it, right? You have a Malphite and a Leona. And you have Graves here. So right now, Leona should just be looking. This is pretty free. Leona has ultimate. And I think that that should have been a fight. That's rough. Graves is wasting a lot of time down here now. Has to stay because the Jin ultimate's proc, but Jin is so safe. There's just not a ton you can do here. Right? If you are blue side in this situation, I think you need to go, are we diving or no? All right, Jin flashes away. Good, play it front to back. Shoot the thing in front of you. Very good. And then Kai'Sa dives on, gets the shutdown. Perfect. Well played. There's the dive. That's what we wanted to see. Cool. Take the turret. Take the turret. Thank you. Okay, 9-9. Blue is back in this. And I think Kai'Sa scales better than Jin and now also has 6 kills. So there, Graves waiting down there sort of paid off. He was very patient. He blew the Jin's flash so that they could end up winning the fight. Orianna, waiting. And that's another thing that you can do in these amateur games is if one person on the enemy team is really fed and you need that shutdown, it's a really good way to get back in the game. Their 2K gold lead for red side just turned into a 1K gold lead or a 500 gold lead for blue side because of the shutdown gold and the kills that went over, right? So it's fine to make a play like that and go, yeah, we're just going to go kill, like, this person has got a 700 gold shutdown. We're just going to go murk them. Like, all 5 people go bottom. They gave up top lane turret for it to the Ornn, but who gives a shit? Like, it doesn't matter at that point because you can see the power in the gold lead, right? Like I said, it was like a 2K gold lead for red, and now it's dead even. We're going to have another Drake fight, very fast-paced game. My concern is that key ultimate abilities aren't up. Okay, they are. All the ultimate abilities are up for blue side. Let's see if they can push R, get a good fight off. Corki no longer has package. I don't know about that Ornn ultimate. Blue gets the Drake. Really good job by the Malphite. Really, really good job by the Malphite. Well played. Both tanks had the same idea there of zoning all of the carries. And Orianna didn't even burn her ultimate. She still had ult going. So it's something she could use here if they keep pushing. Which I think they should take at least one more turret. And then I think they should dip into the top side, get vision, and take the Raptor camp. Get your chicken nuggies on. Boom. Dip top side, vision. Take the nugs. Don't get caught out. Boom. There's the Orianna ultimate. Still, ooh, the teleport behind by the Ornn is pretty decent, but you don't have ultimate. That's something that I'm just not a fan of as a champion that plays teleport. Just, you don't TP unless your ultimate is up. I think that's a good rule of thumb. Because right there you saw it, like Ornn is there. He's in the back line, but imagine he had ultimate there. It would have been really nice. So red sort of prepping the Baron. Really smart. Using their tempo. Morgana is basing for wards. Morgana, please buy a pink. Morgana did not buy a pink. That's trolling. If you're a support player, I'm going to be honest with you, your pink wards matter more than your actual fucking items, so buy them. Like, I would sacrifice whatever item she just bought for 2 pink wards in my inventory right now. Absolutely, 100% of the time. You'll also note that for blue side, everybody's got a pink, except for Malphite. I think he just placed his, though. Yeah, he just placed his. So here comes the vision. And Volibear is the only one with 2 pinks for red. So let's see if the vision matters. I think it ought to. I think it should be pretty good. Orianna has teleport up, therefore goes to the bottom lane. Really smart play. I think in this meta, you need to teleport sooner rather than later. We think about like the first Drake or whatever it was that was taken in this, or second Drake. I think the Ornn TP'd on it, which was really nice. I think that Orianna should be TPing to this objective now if they're planning on taking it. But she might also just have the time to walk there if she wants. Clear one more wave. If I were Orianna, I would clear that wave and immediately teleport. They should be, with that wave crashing mid, they should be on the Baron right now, in my opinion. Instead, they're just going to look to play. And this is another thing that's completely fine. Keep pushing the waves, take the turret. Kai'Sa's still getting pressure mid. Leona just back to refill wards, if you're wondering why. Look at this, buying pink wards. They're just going to keep this Baron vision up. Really good macro strategy by the blue team here. But I'm interested to see what they do, because this is something that happens a lot in amateur play, because in professional play, when that wave crashed mid, the Baron would be gone. Orianna would have TP'd, the Kai'Sa would have taken it. These people in this game just not as aware that they can do that or something. So now what's going to happen is in 21 seconds, the Drake is going to be up, and it looks like blue side is already on they already know, right? Leona backed for wards, Oriana backed for wards. They already know that they're going to switch and take the Drake. And look at Morgana up there. Like, are they on Baron? What are they doing? Like, they're honestly just squeezing the enemy out because the enemy doesn't know because they don't buy pinks. Even their support is not buying pinks. Volibear still has 2 in his inventory that he just hasn't used. So now they get like, Red side is getting, they're clearing out the vision. Congratulations, great job. But we got a free Drake. Now Graves is going to back again. Guess what he's going to buy, and guess where he's going to go? Pink ward, right at the Baron. Even selling something to get a second pink ward, I think is what he just did there. Leona, backing. Guess what she's going to buy? Buy the pink ward, Leona. Oh, she didn't buy a pink ward. Leona, I'm trying to make a point in my analysis over here. Can you please just get on board with what's happening? But still backing to refill her wards. Look at the inventory of the red team. Still just pink wards for Volibear. That's it. Morgana's not buying them. Morgana, I don't know what your deal is. Buy one right now, or I will flame you. No, I won't flame. There you go. 2 pink wards for Morgana. Cool. So I think red team's starting to get the memo that they're getting squeezed out by vision. They're like, all right, we need to buy pinks. Like somebody in chat was like, bruh, buy pinks. Like this shit is, I can't do it all on my own. The Baron dance is sort of beginning. Oriana saving her teleport so she gets to go back to the bottom and keep clearing now. Leona finally backed for a pink. Thank you. She heard my plea. Let's see if this wet noodle fight turns into anything. Turns into a burned flash for Ornn. Not the greatest gift, but it happened. Ooh, Kaisa had to burn heal, but not flash. Somebody needs to go get mid prio again. Yep, Graves getting mid prio. Oriana still showing in waves. Kaisa has 300 farm. Just a casual 300 farm. So blue side needs to get something for all their work. At this point, they're just trading. At this point, they're just trading vision back and forth, and at some point, you need to set up for a pick. Or go take the top turret. Like, they need to do something here. This is getting a little ridiculous. It's just really long, and it's practice, and I think that it's really good that these teams are actually, because I think in the last series that I did analyzing a different league, this type of macro play and vision control just wasn't a thing, and so it's nice to be able to analyze it for a little bit. But I think that's a good question that amateur teams can answer. I get vision control of the place that I'm supposed to get. Well, then what? What do I do now? And I think that this team needs to decide if they can keep, do they have the zone control to keep people out from Baron? Maybe they're saying our Oriana beats your Corki on side. I don't know that that's truly the case. Or maybe they're just doing the same thing where they're going to stall out, make sure the red team can't get Baron, but we don't want to throw at it. So we're just going to wait for 46 seconds and we're going to go collect our Cloud Soul. Yep, looks like they're doing exactly that. So they have good vision control over the top side of the map. They're making sure that the enemy, red team can't just start Baron while we start Drake. Leona backs for her wards again. This time, red side, like, we've seen this one before. We're going to try and fight you for this mid priority and be ready to take the dragon in 12 seconds. To me, it looks like blue is just a little bit late to this, but red really isn't posturing too aggressively. And then they went topside, so maybe they are going to try and... And what do you do if you're blue? If I'm the shot caller in this situation, I don't like what blue side is doing. Let's see how it plays out for them. The Leona down, the front line is sort of down. Graves is kind of cleaning up, but not really, because the Kaisa is dead. Okay, so let me go back and tell you what I like to see in this situation. So we're talking about a lot right here that blue side for the past like 10 minutes has just been playing around this Baron vision. They don't want the Baron. They've had a couple of opportunities to start it, and their playbook has been, we're going to get vision around the Baron to make sure you're not doing it, and then we're going to go to the bottom side and take the Drake because we think that the souls are more important. And I've been on teams that end up doing this, and I get so frustrated because we spend all this time getting vision around Baron, and we go to the bottom lane, or we go to the Drake, and we go, oh no, they panic. They go, oh no, they're going to get Baron. Let's run at them. And they literally just run directly there. Oh, they're panicking. Oh no, they're going to get Baron. We got to go, we got to go, we got to go, we got to go. Well, all your vision is gone. You're not controlling the space anymore. And honestly, if I'm the shot caller for blue side right now, I'm saying we trade Baron for Cloud Soul. Soul is permanent. It never goes away. You always have it. And Baron is not. Baron goes away. You can wait out a Baron. You have Orianna. You have Kaisa. You have Graves. It's decent wave clear. You can wait this out. You can stem the bleeding, and then you get the soul, and you have the CDR and whatnot, the stats that soul gives you. But they just walk into a team, and really good job by red side to go, if they come, we turn. They knew this is clearly the call. If we see the enemy, we're going to turn and we're going to fight them. And this is just the vision you worked so hard to set up is just gone, and now you're getting smoked because, yeah, your vision is gone. Like, that's it. So you really need to decide beforehand what's more important to you. And I think these are conversations you need to have as a team. What's more important, Baron or Soul? What's more important, Baron or Elder? What's more important, third Drake or Baron? And know when you're going to trade them and when you're not. So now what happens is they lose the fight, and red side, they've clearly had this conversation. Red side knows that Soul is more important, so they're going to go take the Drake and deny you Soul, when they could be on Baron right now. So they've had this conversation, they know where their priorities lie, and blue side didn't, and that lost them the fight. Fast forward a little bit here. I'm interested to see what their next play is. This is very, very high level stuff to analyze. It's a lot of fun. Well, the Baron is still up, so they're going to head that direction. Let's see if blue side continues their strategy of ward Baron, pivot Drake. Okay, they've warded Baron. They keep mid prio. They start it? Okay. This time they're just like, fuck it. We're starting the Baron. And look how fast they do it. This is something that I think that teams need to get used to, is the fact that at 36 minutes into the game, you're going to do so much damage to the Baron. It's insane. And so they just take it really, really quickly, which is perfect for them. Okay, so they've taken the Baron quickly, just like we saw. Let's see how they use it. This is something that I think teams is a very sort of nuanced strategy as well that is kind of taken for granted. I think a lot of professional teams, when they have the Baron, they know exactly what to do with it, depending on what their comp is. And your options are sort of like you can death ball down a lane as 5 if you're just that much stronger. You can get lanes pushing, like one lane pushing, and then run like a 4-1, something like this. It looks like they're opting to go for a 1-3-1. Orion in the top lane being 1, 3 people in the middle lane here, and 1 person on the bottom. This is your standard, I think, in low elo play or in like amateur play. Blue side decides to go for rather a 1-3-1. But I don't know if I'm a fan of this, and we're about to see why. I did back up because there was a commercial, so I have already seen what happens here. And I think the idea is that Kaisa Graves Leona just isn't safe enough of a 3-stack to just put in the middle lane. If all 3 of them run at you, you're going to die. And so here the Leona, even the tankiest member, gets caught out because they just don't have enough to do. I'm more of a fan with this comp of letting the Malphite push and keeping the Orianna with you, because Orianna there has the shields and the speed ups and things like that to help your 4-stack get out of tricky situations. And she has the damage to be able to kite with the ball. So I think that the Orianna definitely should have been there with the 3-stack. They should have run a 4-1. They don't really care, it looks like. They're just like, we still have Baron. We don't really give a shit. And then, yeah, look at the damage that Orianna is doing here. Look at her controlling space with the ball. This is what you need to do. You need to have the Orianna with you controlling the space. So far, so good for the Baron power play. They're up a lot of gold, but the issue is Elder Drake is... Oh, it's not Elder Drake. I'm sorry. It's just a regular Drake. I forgot that red side got a Drake. It's actually kind of good that Elder Drake isn't up because blue is so late to this party. But the Wombo! Oh, this can be game right here for sure. It's just popping off and killing everybody. Malphite saying, you know what? I'm sick of playing this game. Let's end it. This should be the end, in my opinion. This is a very easy, everybody go to the middle lane. We take the inhibitor. They're just not stacking on the middle lane. They're going to play it slowly. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you still have 20 seconds. You have 20 seconds to end this game. Yeah, Malphite. Okay, cool. They're going to end. So just a really, really good job at Degenerate Esports to come back after getting stomped in the first game. And it looks like we're going to go to a game 3. At least I think there's a game 3. I wonder if they just played 2. We'll find out.